So this one's going to be a little different. I actually sat down recently with Carbon. If you don't know who Carbon is, he's got a YouTube channel. He's actively crewing F-16s right now. He's a crew chief, and he's on the flight line every day. And he flies DCS in his spare time. He's made some DCS tutorials, posted it on his channel. Definitely go check him out. Thought it'd be cool to sit down and talk shop with him, reminisce, tell stories, and share that with you guys. So yeah, this is us just talking shop.
Kind of goes along with your hot start story.
Oh yeah,
yeah. We had this pilot. He was motoring his JFIS or whatnot, and this guy's just standing at the fire guard or fire bottle. Sorry, fire guarding, and he's like asleep or something or zoned out because this thing was just fogging like crazy, and he just like zoned out or something. And this pilot goes to idle, and it's a Pratt, so.
Yep.
It's not like an explosive GE light off, but this thing lit off like a GE, and it was kaboom, and a fireball shot out the back. Indicator, the no-go bit balls popped and whatnot. Come to find out, and we had to shut him down because we were unsure if he overtemped or not. He didn't know. He just heard the boom. But yeah, watching that guy wake up with that boom was something. it was something else. But yeah, I got called in for that because I was watching it and didn't say anything. So I'm like, I guess it's kind of my fault at the same time. But yeah, it was just something I was watching.
I wonder why it was fogging. Did you guys find out why?
Yeah, so the idle rig was out.
Oh yeah, that's the same with mine.
So yeah, he was in cutoff, but it was just out enough to start scheduling fuel.
Yep.
It was pressed up against the cutoff gate.
Yeah, I'm assuming when that happens. I mean, we didn't look when it happened to me. I don't remember us looking into whether or not it was too hot afterwards. But I'm assuming that when that happens, it's got to trip the hot start at least for a little bit. I don't know. I mean, it's not really. I don't know if it's considered a true hot start, but
yeah, no. I mean, he has 650. The Pratt anyway, 650 to play around with for Celsius. But I don't. If I remember, he didn't exceed that, but as a precaution, we had him shut down, step to a spare.
Pratts have a lot smaller, a lot cooler threshold than the GEs. I think the GEs isn't it like 900 something.
Yeah, GE's like 980 on start.
Yeah,
and Pratt's 650, and then anything over 575 at idle is an overtemp.
That's a lot cooler.
Yep.
Yeah, when I was on Pratt's, I was still a 3 level, so I didn't know any of that stuff.
Right.
Pratt's was I think that was the first jet I was on, was a Pratt. Block 25 and Block 30s at the 62nd.
Oh, the Bulldogs are...
Yes,
yeah.
62nd, yep. Yeah, the spikes.
That's it, yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, they still had those them there when I got there.
Were you at Luke for hot training?
So I didn't go to a hot training for F-16s. I went for F-22s down in Tyndall.
Really?
Yeah, so I started out on F-22s for my first 3 years.
Oh, wow.
And that was a great time. Got to see some cool places, Okinawa, Guam.
Yeah.
Aldafra.
So how'd you get over to the 16s?
So I was in this place called Holloman for F-22s, and Holloman is not a good time.
No, it's not.
And usually the only way to get out of Holloman is to put in for Korea. So
right, that's what I've been told too.
Yep. So I did the whole go to Korea thing, and then get basic preference or whatnot, or at least a follow-on out of Holloman. So I did that and had orders to Hickam, and then at that time they shredded out the AFSCs again, so that you're kind of locked into a shred.
Mm-hmm.
And since I was F-16 at the time over in Korea, I got stuck on 16s, and orders to Hickam canceled, and the Luke I went.
See, I remember, at least I don't remember when they started that, because when I was in, if you were 2A3 X3, it was tactical. Oh, what is it? Tactical aircraft
Maintenance.
maintenance. Yeah.
Yep.
But when you got assigned an airframe, at least for me, guys pretty much stayed on that airframe for the rest of their career, unless they got, they could cross train if they wanted, but it was, if you weren't cross training or requesting to cross train, or they needed people on a different airframe, you were pretty much there. So we had guys that were like, shoot, been in for 20 some odd years and had only crewed the 16. And then they started talking about making it a universal thing where you kind of go around the Air Force crewing any airframe. And I don't remember that when that started. I'm assuming that was kind of because it sounds like you were 22 and then you went to Osan or Kunsan and switched straight to the 16s. Like if I asked to go to another base, it'd be a 16 base.
Yeah. So when I went in 2009, anyway, you were able to do that. You had to be a 5-level first, so you had to get all your 3-level CDCs done in your upgrade training. And once you were at 5-level, you could go to any tactical fighter, F-15, A-10, F-16, F-22. So yeah, you just put those bases on your dream sheet, and you could go there. And then 2012 is that's when I was in Korea. 2012 is when the shred out happened. So the 2A3 X3 had a letter designation at the end, like K, or M, for the different airframes, and then F-22s and F-35 got a whole complete new AFSC 2A3 X7, I think.
Oh, really?
Yeah, for 5th generation.
I did not know that.
Yep.
Holy cow! So they got their own AFSC now.
Yep. Yeah, Raptor and 35 have their own AFSC.
I think I might have to look it up. I thought we were 2A3X3B. I can't remember.
We're M now.
When did you go? Because you're guard now, right?
Yep, I went guard in 2015.
Okay, so you were active all the way up till then.
Yep.
And switched over to guard. What do you think of guard?
I wish I knew about it sooner, honestly. It's so much different from active duty. Like active duty are 12, 14-hour days every day.
Yeah.
Holidays.
Yep.
The ops tempo was ridiculous for no reason whatsoever.
Yep.
Just working to work for whatever reason. 3 shifts, days, swings, mids. Guard, get over the guard. It's 9.5-hour days, and then it's a 3-day weekend every other week. Holidays off. Easy to schedule leave. Encouraged to take leave. I mean, you gotta do your 1 week in a month or whatnot, but if you don't want to, just take leave, and don't gotta do that.
Or are you? Because you're full-time guard, right? Active guard.
Yeah. I started out guard though, just as a DSG, which is Drill Status Guardsman. So that was like the week in a month, 2 weeks a year thing for the first 2 years. And I was going to ASU for computer science, pursuing a degree there. And then one thing or another happened, having more kids, and I mean, I can't afford this with a BH just on this GI Bill. So
yeah,
I went full time as a technician at the time, which is a little bit different than active guard. A little bit different set of rules, different hour or ways to accrue leave, and you have sick leave and annual leave, and it's a little bit different, but kind of the same. Almost like having a union almost, as opposed to active.
Yeah. So because you're active, do you guys deploy at all?
So since I've been there, we haven't been required to. However, opportunities do come up to deploy.
Okay.
Like last year, there was an opportunity that a couple people took to go to Prince Sultan Air Base over in Saudi with the DC Guard and their Block 40 F-16s.
Okay.
For 6 months or so. So there's opportunities, but I've never been like, hey, you're deploying.
So, like the whole unit hasn't had to deploy.
Yep. Nope. They just ask for a couple volunteers here and there sometimes, and they get filled quick.
Yeah. See, yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah. The more I talk to you about guard, the more I'm like, oh man, why didn't I go guard in the first place?
Man, I'm telling you, it's like the best kept secret. Like
Yeah,
if I didn't chance, I was gonna go like reserves or something, like on the way to the reserve in service recruiter over at Luke, and
yeah.
he wasn't there, and it so happened the guard dude was, and like, oh yeah, guard, it's down in Tucson. I'm like, oh cool. I'm like Davis Mothin. They're like, no, Tucson International. I'm like, what? Okay. So I went down there, checked it out, and I was like hooked.
Man, yeah, active burned me out. I was done after that. Like you were saying, like yeah, it was rough. I think, and then after I got out of the 16s, I went to the Predators, and the ops tempo there is, the Pentagon loves drones, so we were never home. We were always in the desert.
Right.
I just got burnt out.
Yeah, I hear that.
So when you were you at Kuhn or Osan?
I was at Kunsan.
When were you there?
2011 to 2012.
Were you at the 80th?
No, so I was phase. I went and got lucky and got phased that entire time.
I wonder if so you were phase.
Yep.
My jet from Eielson, we swapped out with I think it was the 80th, the Wolfpack, and
Yep.
I'm curious if you worked on my jet while you were there.
It's possible. You could give me a tail number though, but I wouldn't remember it.
Yeah, that was 892077. But you were at phase. I'm assuming you probably went through all of them at least once while you were there.
Yeah, once are pretty close to all of them because we had the 80th and what was it, 35th?
I think so. Yeah.
Antons. I forget what numbers they were, but yeah, the 80th Juvets and the Pantons.
I thought it was Wolfpack.
That's just the base.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, everyone's Wolfpack. That's just Kunsan.
Okay. I'd never got to go to Korea.
I'd go back in a heartbeat.
Really?
It was such a good time.
Yeah, I've heard both. I've heard people say it sucked, they hated it, they'll never go back, and then other people like you are like, it was the best time of their lives.
So I guess if you don't have kids and you're not married, then yeah, it's a great time, which was me at the time. But if you were married, I guess it kind of sucked. It was really cool. I'll say because I got to be phase, and learning the 16 through phase was kind of a benefit, I guess, versus going flight line and then trying to learn that way.
Oh, that's right, because you were just coming from the 22.
Yeah. Yeah.
Would you say the 16 is easier to work on than the 22, or vice versa?
No way.
Really?
The 22 is cake. That thing troubleshoots itself. There's no safety wire. Well, there's like only a couple spots, like 2 or 3 spots with safety wire, and you don't have to deal with it ever.
Really?
Yeah. Everything's just torque to spec.
Yeah, the 16 is, everything's got safety wire on it.
Yep. No, 22 is just awesome.
Have you ever worked on GEs? Or yeah, you did it at Kunsan. Those were GEs.
Yep. Yeah, the Block 40's there, and we had a few come down to the guard from our alert detachment, but we gave those away to Vermont or something. I don't know.
So I don't know how you feel about it, but when I was on the GEs, well, when I came from Pratt's and went to the GEs, I thought the GEs were way easier to pull, put back in, like even work on.
Oh yeah, I agree with that. Because you don't have a fuel strainer to mess with. It's just a direct fuel line to the engine.
Right.
And then the thing that kind of sucked with the GE though is there's less room for like the Coke bottle safety wire up in the sides there.
Yeah. Yep.
So that kind of sucks a little bit. But other than that, even like the engine R&I and the cradles, it's all real easy, real quick to put together, and no puzzle pieces, I guess, for hooking up that front cradle.
Right. No scavenge. Shut down.
Yeah, or a 60-second dry motor for start.
Yeah.
And I guess that wasn't really a thing early 2000s, I guess, from what I understood.
I mean, I was there at Luke when we were doing that in 03.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we were doing 60 seconds drive motor.
Maybe it was late 90s, but it came about because the the fan shaft or whatnot would start to bend, I guess you'd say, under the heat if you didn't cool it down with that motor. That's how it would like warp or whatnot.
I didn't know that.
Yep, that's so the 60 seconds came because of that, because they didn't want to be like, well, it didn't fly first go, second go, needs a dry motor, so just dry motor everything.
Yeah.
I have to track that.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't remember us doing it all the time, but we were doing it pretty often. I remember when I switched to the GE, the Block 40s. I came up from Luke, went up to Eielson, and my first day launching, I got my toolbox and all that stuff, and I actually brought a bucket with me. Recovery, recovery. I put the bucket under the jet, and everyone was laughing.
Right.
Like, what are you doing? I was like, geez, don't do that. Only one guy knew what I was doing. The other guys, I guess, had always worked GEs. They'd never touched a Pratt, at least at that point, and they didn't know what I was doing. And one of the older guys was like, you don't have to do that here.
That's funny. Yeah, the other guys were probably like, what the hell's he doing?
What's the bucket for?
Yeah. You got a leak somewhere?
Yeah, right. No, nothing happened. It's just all nice and dry. That was funny.
Just there was an instance like ADG servicing. So I'll go into that one. So we were TDY over Miramar, Top Gun, old Top Gun, all that from Luke, and come to find out, no one packed a ADG servicing adapter. So that little thin elbow pipe looking thing.
Yeah.
So I got a picture of this. So yeah, just some ingenuity or whatnot, just because you can't really put that oil cart into the ADG and just expect to service it. So I just like taped a water bottle, essentially crinkled it up, like like strapped some rags around it and just kind of, I don't know, kind of made my own ADG adapter. It worked out. It saved the day, but yeah, just come prepared when you go TDY for anything, I guess.
Was there like oil all over the place, or did you get a good seal?
Oh yeah, there was oil everywhere.
Yeah, I bet.
It's just, I just try to strap that thing to the hose and try to push it in the hole, and it's just oil everywhere. But oil got in the ADG, and that's what mattered.
Yeah, Navy's not going to have an ADG adapter.
Yeah, definitely.
Had that happened a few, like, I don't know, when was the last time the Top Gun had 16s? I'm trying to remember when they switched over. I thought they still had some.
Well, they got them now.
Yeah. I know
Fallon.
I know a long time ago they had them at Miramar. They said they're like hot rod F-16s. They pulled everything out of them except for like the radar and the engine. Everything else is gone, and so they're like super lightweight. Pilots said they were like hot rods, way faster than the regular F-16.
I bet. Yeah, no, that's where our Block 30 F-16s went all the way up to Fallon, the new Top Gun. So they got about 20 or so of those.
That's awesome. Man, I should have gone guard.
Yeah, you should have. Because I mean, the 162nd where I'm at, we have just as many jets as Luke did. We fly same amount of sorties. We have 2 shifts to do it, 9.5 hours each.
Wow.
And we have one of the highest FMC rates in Air Force.
It was so rare that I got a 9-hour night.
Oh, yeah.
So rare. I never saw my wife. I was always on the line. I can't even remember. I doubt there were very, like, I could probably count on my hands and feet how many 9-hour nights I had the whole time I was in.
For sure. Well, the guard, it's every day, so.
That's awesome. So is it like they won't let you work past that? Is it like a rule or something, or that's just kind of unspoken?
It's kind of has to do with the technicians or whatnot, because it's 80 hours pay period. So they figure 9.5 hours every 2 weeks leaves 1 day off every other week for a 3-day weekend.
So you're technically hourly then?
Yeah, you could say that, even though I'm active, but since we have technicians, we follow the hourly.
That is really cool.
Yep.
All right. Well, I appreciate it. Well, unless you can think of anything else, I guess I'll I'll let you go. I just wanted to talk to you a little bit, see if I can't. I thought it'd be cool to have like an episode of other crew, because I got a couple other crew chiefs that that I know, and I thought it'd be cool to add some other guys' flight line stories and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's always good. I mean, nothing too crazy that I can think of right now.
Well, thanks for talking with me, man. I appreciate it. For those of you who are still listening, go check out Carbon's YouTube channel. He's actively crewing F-16s every day. He's on the flight line every day right now. I haven't been on the flight line in probably 12 years, 13 years, and haven't crewed an F-16 in 15 years at least. Carbon's got some great DCS tutorials on his channel. Definitely go check it out. I'll see you guys in the next one.